welcome along and welcome back to Spruce Mountain Farms. Today we are, well, we're sitting here with Courseplay and a hired worker because there's not much else I can do at the moment. In order to get our carting tractor to run with this combine, for some reason I have to be having the combine running on Courseplay. So both of these are running here. We're going to let the contract pretty much manage itself. I do need to keep an eye on the tractor because it tends to get stuck at the sell point. Yeah, these can basically just keep going around and doing stuff on their own and completing this contract, which is what we need them to do. In the meantime, we need to get a whole load of fertilizer, a whole load of liquid fertilizer onto our fields. If we have a look at our precision farming screen here, you can see that we have an awful lot of red kicking about. And looking at the growth state of everything, you can see that we're getting closer and closer on certainly field 6, 5C, and 5A. So we want to get those sprayed today if we can. This contract itself is worth a lot of money to us. So if we have a look at that, you can see that we're worth 13,751 from it. But if we put the details up, it's worth nearly 20,000 in total. That should be more than enough to get us what we need to do on here. So yeah, we need this contract to complete. It is currently 52% of the way through, so it is going nicely. It is working its way through, and we have failed, I think, to actually unload with the tractor. Where is our tractor? I think that's gone off. In fact, yeah, wow, that filled up with, that must have been already partially filled with sorghum, I think, because it is completely full now, and it's going to go and tip it. So I'm going to get this tipped, and then I think we'll head back up to the farm because we need to start looking at ways in which we can raise just a little bit more money to fill up with the first load of liquid fertilizer. So I think we basically have two options up at this farm as to how we can raise a little bit of money. We have 9,958 liters of silage in storage. This is the last of the silage that I'm really holding on to just in case we need to feed the cows again, who do have a bit of food, so they're okay. And the other is to sell the 3,200 liters of milk we have left. I think this is our best bet. So what I need to do is go and grab the truck. And I'd already put the tanker onto this ready for us to load up the fertilizer. But we'll leave that in the shed here and just go and put the milk tanker on the back instead. And then once we've done this and sold this, we should have enough money to go and get about 4,000 liters, I think, of a liquid fertilizer. Liquid fertilizer is actually pretty expensive, and I'd quite like to not have to spread too much of it. Whereas doing it with slurry would be perfect. And we're kind of working up to that. In fact, getting our own BGA is going to solve a lot of these problems. I've managed to collect this up and not put any milk in it. So I was saying, a lot of these problems would be solved by us going and getting our BGA set up. And getting our BGA set up will give us a whole load of digestate. It'll give us a way to process all of our silage and create a whole load of digestate, which will be amazing. It'll just be absolutely brilliant. But it's going to be a very large outlay in order to go and do that. And so we need to we've got to get through this year's harvest before we can do that. And we're being held back a little bit by the fact that we haven't got into this year's harvest yet, which is not too bad. I do have one worry. We have to get hold of a cotton harvester to do this harvest. And at the moment, I do not have the money to do that. So that in itself is also very worrying. We are going to need to find some more money. I think another silage contract is probably on the horizon for us. So let's empty this. And then I'm going to go and see what is blocking my combine and my tractor. Okay, they're just unloading. It's complaining a bit, but it's okay. In fact, why has that stopped? Oh, I see. The cause plate setup isn't bad. It just gets a little bit confused. Let's get out of your way, shall we? There we go. And then the combine can get back into position. And this can go and tip this. So away you go. One thing that does concern me is we have rain on the way. And it's a batch between about 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So we will have to stop this contract during that time. If we're lucky, this contract will complete during that time. It is already 64% done. So this is cracking on with it and should be good. Otherwise, yeah, it'll have to stop halfway through the day in order to make sure that we don't have any issues with the rain. For now, though, we're going to get this truck back to the farm, get the tank we have on the back of it dropped off and back down by our milking area here so that that's ready to go again next time. And yeah, we've got £9,643. If I wasn't doing the contract, I would throw all of that into getting the fertilizer that we need, but unfortunately I can't. We've got to hold on to some cash in order to get the in order to keep that contract running. So I'm only going to really be able to buy 2 tankers worth of nitrogen fertilizer. I'm hoping 4,000 liters is going to be enough to get us going on those 3 fields. So the 3 fields of cotton we've got, and see where they go. It's really important we get those done because they're getting closer and closer to harvest, and I can't let those go to harvest without having got a good amount of fertilizer on them and maximizing the profit we can get off them. So this used to be a petrol or a fuel bowser that we have on the back of here. We used to use this to transport fuel up to fields and keep things going. Did I buy? I completely forgot at the end of the last episode, we bought 3 loads of liquid fertilizer. I don't need to spend any money. We already have. Right, let's see if we can fill these up into this then. And oh, that is awesome. I did not know we had 3 of these browsers already. The fact we have 3 of these browsers is fantastic. And yeah, we can just fill this straight up and take this back to the farm. We don't need to worry about how much money we have to do this. We've got we've got everything we need. So we've got this 6,000 liters of liquid fertilizer back to the farm. Stop this here and jump into our John Deere. Now, I was speaking to them down at the shop, and they've got something come up, which of course they have with the timing, that might interest us, and very much thinking, oh wow, that would allow us to start doing a single brand for our tractors on here, and that is that we have in the shop the opportunity to buy this. It is 56,637. But it is a John Deere 6M. It is more powerful than our current New Holland is. This has 130 horsepower, whereas our New Holland has only 125. And yeah, would be a good upgrade for that New Holland, but it is 56,000. So yeah, we will have to see. Hopefully that will be available for a little while, and we can see how we go. The harvest has stopped because the rain has started, and yeah, we're gonna go and take this down and start spraying. I'm hoping this is just going to be a light shower. Spraying in the rain is not the most advisable thing, but we are short on time today and we need to get this done. So down to the bottom of the field, and we know we've got fairly good reach on this sprayer. It is going to be an automatic application rate because that suits us fairly well. And how close are we to the end of the field? No, we need to move over a bit. There we go. That should do it. Maybe one row back. In there. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to take a fair amount. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly it goes through this liquid fertilizer. I'm hoping it's not going to be too quick. We're not applying a huge amount. Cotton does not take a massive amount of nitrogen to do, which is great, because the less it takes us to do the nitrogen on here, and for us to have to spray, the better will be. In fact, it looks like the top end of this field that we've already sprayed with the manure, with the slurry, probably is not going to require a huge amount. I think it looks like we're most of the way there with the top end, which is brilliant news. It is a real pity that that little John Deere has turned up now, because that is exactly the kind of tractor I'm looking for on here. I mean, we got a lot of hours on this one, but I'm not too worried about that. I've had tractors in the past like this that have ended up needing a lot of maintenance, but this is not doing too bad at the moment. We're doing okay with this tractor on here. We are going to have to do a whole load of maintenance, and I think we're going to probably end up doing that post-harvest, if we can get away with it, simply because well, we kind of need to wait to do it post-harvest. If that tractor hangs around long enough, maybe we can get another contract done, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. See exactly what contracts are available to us. But at the moment, just getting this done is a boost. We do need to get some money in though. It's going to cost us 20 to 30,000, I think, to get a harvester, and that is no small amount of money right now. We'll be in that range actually after the current contract completes. We should be at about the 20,000 range. Oh, we should be actually nearly in the 30,000 range, because we didn't have to go and buy any fertilizer to do this. Or we did, we just bought it yesterday, and I completely forgot. So yeah, we're actually better off than I thought we were going to be. We should be getting close to the point where we can afford a harvester. so long as we don't really have to buy much more fertilizer. And we might be able to afford that tractor at a stretch if we can go and find the right contract. But we do need to go and find the right contract. And I think we'll have a look at that in a bit. This, however, is doing its job really well. We aren't getting through the fertilizer very quickly. For us to be 90%, so we've only used 10% on this field, going from next to nothing. Cotton is turning into an even more awesome crop. Not requiring a huge amount of fertilizer is a real lifesaver for us, and it's going to make such a big difference in how much it costs us to maintain this crop. Now, fertilizer usage at the top end of this field is even less. We are currently using 30, well, we're currently trying to raise it by between about 45 and 25 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare. And yeah, that is so much less, and it's just reducing our fertilizer usage. This is why I love getting slurry and having cows or pigs and doing that on the fields, because it just saves you so much money while those animals are making money for you, either with the milk in the case of the cows, or eventually with the pigs when you sell them off. So yeah, this is working out really, really well. There we go. And allowing me to really get this crop to its optimal state for our harvest this year. And our cotton was not at optimal last year, so this is the first year where we've had a chance to fully do the crop on here and get everything to where we want it. We want to be just a row over, I think. And yeah, we're gonna have a bigger profit, on a much bigger profit on the cotton this year than we did last year. And the crazy thing about that was we made 100,000 on a single field of cotton last year on field 8. We have 3 fields of it this year, and that is just gonna make us so much more. And then on top of that, we're looking at all the silage from the corn too. So yeah, this is going to be a really profitable year on the farm, and I think our switch from Stone Valley was the right one to do, because we are going to be well, we're doing so much better on here than we were doing on there. Before I started spraying this, I was really worried we weren't going to have enough liquid fertilizer to get this job done today. We have more than enough, and that is awesome. That has turned out the way it has, when I was so worried at the start of this that we weren't going to be able to get all these done, is absolutely awesome. I am so happy about that. We'd be at 30,000. Yeah, we don't have enough to buy that tractor with the contract, unfortunately. We might get up to 20,000 for the New Holland, but I don't think we would get up to the 56,000 we need. So I need to look at where we are with everything. I really would like that tractor. I think it would be a good idea to get that tractor. So yeah, looks like the corn, from the little bit we caught it just then, is going to need a higher amount of liquid fertilizer. So we are gonna keep going with this here. We will get the cotton fields done today, because they are further progressed than our maize fields, and then we will get the cornfields probably sprayed next time with fertilizer so that they can then be progressed as well. They are going to require a larger amount of fertilizer, unfortunately. But given that we've only used about 18% on this field, and we have about half of our liquid fertilizer still sitting in the Bowser in our truck, I am less worried about the amounts that we're going to need for the corn. I'm hoping that we are going to be able to get that sorted and be able to spray that with what we've got. I don't think we're going to be too short on fertilizer. And that is our first field finished. We're going to get this nicely folded up and move over to field 5A, which is just the other side of this corn. The rain is forecast to stop in the very near future, so we should be able to get that harvest running again once that happens. We will have all of this job done today, though. This rain is not very heavy, to be honest. So it's just a light shower for a little while. How are we on lining up to the edge? Oh, we are well out. So let's get this over here up to the edge. Yeah. There isn't a lot of demarcation between our fields. We actually did a fairly thin line between the fields on this map. A bit like we did on Attingham, actually. They're thicker than the ones on Attingham, but it's still quite thin. And with the spraying of the edge of the fields, it's almost going right up to the next field. On this one, there is actually a line. On the previous one, because I was straighter when I was creating this this segmentation at the side, it actually is there is no demarcation between the two. But it's working well, and I'm liking the slightly smaller fields that we get by doing this. I find trying to work the bigger fields, especially with a cotton harvester and a forage harvester, we would be very, very lost trying to do that. We are using very little on here now because, yeah, again, we did actually go and spray this field with slurry. And in fact, there goes the rain. So that's good news. The harvester should continue over on the contract automatically. And we're now not spraying in the rain, which is much better. But yeah, this is going to take very little fertilizer to get this up to optimal amounts. So very happy with this. We are not looking at going below about 70% on this second field. And if we have time today, we might get everything sprayed. If we can do that, that would be absolutely brilliant. I think that after doing all of these fields, so both our corn and our cotton, if we have enough time, or if we have enough fertilizer left over, I might give the grass a spray as well. It is, the nitrogen level on the grass is awful, and if we can increase the amount that we get out of hay that we get off our fields, that can only be a good thing. I'm already looking with what kind of money we're looking to make on here this year, exactly how much or what I might want to spend it on. And I'm thinking very much tractor upgrades is a big thing. So we want to have the we want to put GPS on this. We want to put the crop sensor on this. So the nitrogen sensors on this, those are two big things that would make a massive difference to us overall. I would like to do something similar, maybe on whatever small tractor we have at that point. So whether we do manage to raise the funds and get that little 6M or whether we stick with the New Holland. In both cases, I think getting those upgraded as well would be a good idea. And I think, yeah, we want to build a BGA, and we should definitely have the funds to do that this year. And we might end up being able to either buy the forage harvester that we've got, or maybe even the cotton harvester that we're going to be leasing more long-termish this year. So there's lots of things to spend money on. The one other thing that I'm thinking is increasing our cow herd. At the moment, or increasing the dairy herd. At the moment, we don't have a massive herd, and it's not producing a massive amount of slurry. Of course, we're looking at doing digestate, really, going forward. And the amount that we'll create from our BGA should more than make up for what we're missing in slurry. But we could make more money from milk if we have more cows. So we might have a look at that as well. Let's bring this round. Our last field of cotton, and yeah, we have used 22% of what we've got in here on this. That is absolutely brilliant. It means we have so much liquid fertilizer left that we are really well set up for sorting out the maize. If we only use a third of this tank in here, then that is more than enough to do the maize, even if it takes twice as much as we've got as this cotton has taken. It is still going to be enough fertilizer to get it all done. Our nitrogen level, or our fertilizer level usage on here, actually is a little bit crazy. We're not at a huge level that we need to do, and we're not having to take it up by 140 kilograms of nitrogen per hectare, but we are having to do it at 100 because this field has 0 nitrogen in it. It is completely devoid of it, and that tells you actually how bad this field was last year for its nitrogen levels when we harvested the maize off it, because it is at nothing, and we are having to take it up about half the overall target that you can for a field in order just to get it to the level for cotton, which is just incredible. I can't believe how low this field is and how much of a difference this is going to make to it. That's the thing. We're gonna have to go into our other crop ever so slightly, but we are in a place here where our yield levels. Well, let's have a look at the difference. So expected yield is 89%. Interestingly enough, it doesn't seem to be increasing the yield potential, which is a bit weird. There we go. Drops to 70%, 77% down here. So, yeah, this is silty clay. It's not a great yielding soil anyway. So we're going to be sort of 10% down. But that's better than being 23% down, which is what it was, what it's giving otherwise. So I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be, as I said, a good yield on here, given that the ground that we're trying to work being not very good. But it is maximizing what we can get off here, and as a result, getting a much bigger amount of crop overall across the farm. That higher usage of nitrogen in this field has got me slightly concerned now. We are down to 62% of the tank on this sprayer. I think that we are going to be in a position where uh, we're a little bit lower than I was expecting to be. It's not the end of the world. We very much are still in a position where I think we've got enough. But it's going to be a lot closer than I had originally anticipated. And as a result, we might end up not being able to do the grass. But we are still very much with more than I had originally expected when I bought the 6,000 liters. So it's a win-win at the moment. I'm quite happy with where we are. And if we don't have enough to do the grass, that's fine. There are ways around that. But yeah, we have used slightly more getting this field done than I had expected to. Looking at our contract, it is at 99% complete. So I'm guessing it's harvested everything it needs to, and it just needs to deliver a little bit more of the sorghum. I'm going to let it just deliver everything. We don't need to have any crop hanging around like we've got with the wheat that we've got hanging around in our shed. We want to get the... we want to get that done. Looks like that is going to be finishing off, so we'll go and check on that in a moment. On here, though, we've got all of the cotton sprayed today, so I'm very happy with that. It's been a good day overall. Things have turned out better than I had thought they would, and we've ended up with a really, really good level of fertilizer left. We're gonna be at around the 53% mark. In fact, no, I think we're gonna be higher than that. I think we might actually remain at 54%. Yep. So there we go. That is our cotton fields all sprayed and good to go. I am very, very pleased with that. So get this back to the farm and then we'll go and check on what's going on with that contract. So there's a tiny little bit left in our combine. Just needs to be emptied and then that is finished. So let's go tip this and finish the contract off. Yeah, 99% done. Just a tiny little bit left to do. And this excess should give us a nice little bit of extra income. We're expecting about 5,000 from it, I think. We'll see how much extra we make. As I said, I'm not too concerned about holding on to it. We're going to be making enough money at the end of the year to not worry about that. So we'll sell off the rest of this. That's completed the contract. The rest is pure profit. And wow, that's actually more than I'd expected to get off that in pure profit. 9,043 plus 368 environmental score. So let's get this completed. So 13,000 we're expecting. We're going to be losing a bit in leasing costs, but if we collect on that, that sends us up to 28,774. Which is a really great place to be today. I think that we may look at another harvesting contract. If I could trust these to go and do that harvesting, that would be amazing. It's going to Feeding Grain South as well, actually. Yeah, if I could leave that running, I would, but I'm always wary about those. Lots of potato harvesting contracts kicking about at the moment. Those are really, really well paying. But for now, I think we're going to leave this here So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.